Be honest. Have you ever felt like the prospects you're speaking to just aren't the right fit? Like they don't get what you do, they waste your time, or they disappear right after asking for a quote? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And here's the wild part, it's probably not your product, it's probably not your pricing. You're just talking to the wrong people. Most businesses try to reach to everyone, and that's exactly why they struggle. In this video, I'm going to break down how market segmentation helps you attract the right people, the ones who get your value, want what you're offering, and are ready to buy. We'll talk about why your messaging might be turning off your best customers, how to find and speak to your ideal audience, and how big brands quietly use segmentation to explode their sales. I've seen this working firsthand with large companies like Bisleri, Paytm, Johnson & Johnson, and many more. When you get your segmentation right, everything else just clicks. Better leads, better conversions, better results. In fact, it's the first step of my 9-step one-page go-to-market strategy book, which is available on Amazon. You can get a copy of the book or join our free challenge from the links in the comments below. Okay, so what is segmentation exactly? It simply means dividing your market into smaller groups. They're based on parameters like goals, problems, behaviors, or even personality, so you can talk to them differently. Essentially, how you do it is you want to ensure that each and every customer profile is different. You have created the customer profiles, you have mapped them separately, and you're using different communications to each and every person. That way, each and every customer persona would feel that you're specifically reaching out to them rather than doing a mass open-ended audience which they may not resonate with. So how do you essentially segment the customers, right? There are multiple ways which you can look at segmentation. The first is demographic, next is psychographic, third is behavioral, and fourth is geographic. Demographic is generally age, sex, and the broad elements. Psychographic is more about the behavior, the mental thought processes, the behaviors, and all that stuff. Geographic is, of course, as mentioned, its locations. Behavioral is more specific towards their buying behavior and that kind of patterns. So, for example, imagine you sell skincare. One group, they care about acne, another's all about anti-aging. These are totally two different messages, right? So now you've heard of segmentation, but why does it actually lead to higher sales? In simple terms, when you understand your customers better, you can create offers and messaging that speak directly to their needs. And that's how you drive conversions. Let me break it down for you. It leads to better targeting, which means more relevant messaging, which means more trust, and ultimately better conversions. That's called the domino effect. When you speak to the right people with the right message, they feel like you actually get them. That leads to trust, and trust leads to buying. Let's take a look at a company that's done this really, really well. Nike. Nike doesn't just sell shoes, right? They sell an identity. But they don't target everyone with the same message. No, they break their audience down into specific groups. For example, when Nike targets runners, they are showing them a generic just do it ad. They show ads that speak directly to runners' goals like personal bests, beating time records, and overcoming exhaustion. It's a message tailored to that segment of the market. Now, when Nike does segmentation similar for basketball players, ads which focus on team spirit, leadership, and performance on the court. Everyone knows the famous Air Jordans, right? Which is essentially what put Nike on the map. It's a completely different market segment, completely different audience, and you market them completely differently. Same brand, same product, but the messaging changes completely because the needs of these two groups are totally different. This is segmentation at work, step-by-step breakdown. So you essentially list your current customers, look at who's already buying from you, what do they have in common. You essentially group them by pain points, their goals, their age, their gender, their buying patterns. Try and create as much breakdown as possible because that will help you truly understand what your customers think, how they behave, how they act, and understand them better. Because once you do that, you'll be able to identify that segment better and target them directly. Don't group by random data. Group by something which is much more tangible to them and very unique to them. Point number two, adjust your messaging for each and every segment. Now speak once you've created the segments of each and every customer, Speak to them individually and directly. Don't just send generic mass messages outside. Speak directly to each one of them. So for example, if you're a graphic freelancer, you might have three buckets: startups that need speed, agencies that need overflow help, and corporates that need polished, complete designs. Each one of them gets a different pitch, has different messaging, and different ways to convert. Here's where most people miss the mark. They only use segmentation for sales call, but it is just as important and just as crucial in your entire marketing journey, in your content, and everywhere that you reach out to them. Here's a bonus tip for you. Create different type of content angles for each and every customer segment. Your Instagram for Gen Z isn't going to be the same as your LinkedIn post for decision makers or your how-to content on YouTube. At the end of the day, great marketing isn't about reaching more people. It's about reaching the right people with the right messaging at the right time who are relevant for your business. This is what true marketing is about. So if you found this video helpful, hit subscribe, click the bell icon, and level up your business. All the best.